Starting the stream a few seconds too soon. Got to get my microphone fixed over here. I've been playing with the camera a bit, trying to get the angle right. Sorry about that. And we are live. What's up, everybody? It's G Mr. Drew here to welcome you to another episode of the Andrew Glowczewski Experience. This is going to be episode 333. And we are going to continue the Bayonetta study. If you're just now tuning in, bought this art book years ago, cost a small fortune to get, and we have been systematically, look at that, I mean, it's already coming apart and everything, systematically going through all the concepts art. Like, there's a bunch of beautiful artwork in this game, like even not all these finished renders and stuff. But all the concepts and early stages and all the stages, from clothing to hair to, you know, the colors and themes, everything that they were going through. As you can see, we're only a few pages in to all these designs just because there's so many of them, right? So I've been systematically going through them, and we are currently at the end of this page where I've been working on this design here, which has like this whole trench coat look with this giant curly wavy hair bow tie system going on in there. You know what? I didn't include the bow ties in the last stream when I was drawing the back of it. That's a shame on me. Looks like my lights aren't right. Give me a second. Let me... get the lights down. There we go. And yeah, so we're gonna continue it, and I'm gonna want to explore this a little bit more. Just draw from a few different angles and stuff like that. Maybe highlight some things. I just really like the hair, and the fact that she has this trench coat is like really different from everything else that you know, there is for her. Like, everything is usually pretty skin tight. There's no like really big jackets, but I tend to like the big jacket designs. So yeah, man, let's see. Do all my old stuff here. Where are we? Where are we at? Where are we? Oh man. Let me see. Can I get this camera over some even more?
Display overlay. Where the hell is the FPS?
See, the thing is I raise the camera so that way I'm not bumping it while I draw. But now because it's so high up, it's so distant from the sketchbook, which I don't know how much of a problem that is or not. You know, one day I'll have like better cameras and everything, and once I'm recording in HD or 4K or something like that, I'm sure it won't be an issue at all. But yeah, damn, this is what I miss. I think this is the last bit of original character and original artwork that I concept designed that I was working on for a character of mine, and this was all the way back in August. The end of August, at least. So, what is this? Beginning of September? So since September, I've been working on whatchamacallits, on studies, because I started working on the gun study, and that took a while. You know, spent a month or two on that. Did the gun study, yep, for a month exactly. And then I started the Bayonetta study in pencil first. And then this is actually what I'm thinking about today, is actually the original first sketch that they did of her is this here. And it's kind of like that design. And I kind of drew the profile and the back of it. I kind of just made it up and matched the front of the dress. But I think I'm gonna want to do something similar to that with the trench coat design that I'm working on today, and try to explore that, and maybe less so of the hair, Maybe even take out the hair completely. Just have this bald-headed Bayo, but just to focus on her dress. Very, you know, very reminiscent of like what I did here, because she had like this hair poncho thing going on in this design. And, you know, from behind, it's just all hair basically, so you don't see anything. It's very reminiscent of the design that I'm working on right now, or studying and breaking down right now. So, let's, yeah, see, so this is the one, drawn really, really big, so as you can see, it's, big hair, big coat, and this is it from behind, and yeah, no ribbons. Let's see, how did the ribbons work here? We got,
Why are you killing her?
so 1, 2,
Hear the sound of smashing buttons in the arcade and stuff?
so about every 2.
Here Ryu would be very cautious about the situation.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
We'll walk his ass into the corner.
1, 2. Okay.
Ow! Why are you repeating everything? I'm gonna slowly walk over there.
So yeah, I think I left the last one saying that I wasn't finished with this one. I wanted to tighten it up, which is true. I wanted to fix the hair a bit, and this is exactly why I got the paint markers. So I bought a giant pack of paint markers. Got a whole bunch here. I used to only have white ones, but now I got, like, you know, a decent amount of colors. And I'm gonna throw some ribbons in the hair, tighten up the hair a bit, and just finish this one off. And then after that, you know, since I don't have anywhere to go tonight, or, you know, you're stuck with me, and let's finish up the rest of this. Finish the rest of this page on this stream. So we're gonna start with the hair, go in on the rest of this design. Like I said, get after I'm done with the hair, I probably won't draw it anymore, just because I kind of got the most of it down. Like, you know, we got it from the front here, all this detail. We get it. It's big, it's wavy, it's patchy, and then there's like this kind of crisscross pattern that I use when I design scales and dragon scales, fish scales, netting, things like that. And you know, like chainmail armor and things like that. There's a pattern to it, and his hair, I saw that pattern in his hair, so I applied it to that, and obviously it just has looser ends because it like waves and curls out. So the mass of the hair is here, and I really just wanted to kind of highlight that and show that. So yeah, these ribbons are kind of like gold, so let's grab these yellow, orange. Oh wow, I like this color. Don't know if I'll need it for the ribbons. But yeah, I think got all these. Most of them are open, except for this one. So let's crack this one open. Get these ribbons going. Finish up the hair here. Shouldn't take too long, and then yeah, we'll jump into it. Give me a second. I got a hoodie on. Anytime I turn on all these lights and I start streaming, I swear I go up a few degrees. All right.
And it's gonna give you some disgusting results. This was a game where
so we got that, and we're gonna need the white paint marker just to maybe clean up some of these areas. And I got some pink ones in case I want to like work on the hair some more, pink and purple ones. But yeah, let's start with this light yellow just to throw them in. Alright, so we're good. Got a decent camera angle. It's a little up high. It's a little angled backwards. You can tell by this line here how it looks like it's receding. It is what it is.
Wow! Oh my God! Why did they do so much damage? Why did it do what?
Oh.
Huh? I move my dang face, huh? Why did I do so much damn damage? What the hell?
Something I noticed about these markers, they're kind of milky, watery at first.
Dude, it was literally a sonic boom and it took off 60%. So I guess there are alternate character colors in this thing. He wasn't even charging.
Alright,
wow.
so it's always down one.
Ow, I think it might be sun. Okay, walk and block. Wow, you piece of shit.
Do these things not like to get absorbed into the...
Oh, he's doing it. What the shit? He's doing it. He's sitting here doing it.
Go.
Ow, ow. What? You piece of shit. Oh, damn box.
Okay.
Lord, man. These games were serious back then. You don't think games were pay to play back in the early 90s? Oh, they certainly were. Now,
Yeah, get these markers to wake up a bit, you know?
what?
See, now that one's really kicking. Well, what's going on?
After about 75 cents.
What's going on there?
After about 75 cents, it starts to ease up. But, or not. Oh my God. Dude, you just did a standing fucking.
There we go. Are we picking up any of this color at all? Yeah.
It's actually
All right.
recorded, right? It's not even. It's not
I could just
even
barely,
a mystery anymore. No.
barely make it out
People were accusing the AI in this game back
on
in
the
early days of
playback.
cheating, and no, people actually found out it does. The AI cheats.
But looking at the video,
Didn't even talk to the damn
it's
AI.
definitely there.
What?
Yeah, once I start layering these things in, it should get better. I hope I didn't get these markers for no reason.
Holy bitch! Alright, sorry.
2.
Okay.
1, 2.
Oh my God. That was a fake sonic boom.
There we go. One, 2.
What?
Oh yeah, that's another thing I didn't finish over here. Was her hands.
Whoa, that's shit!
Let me.
So I think we actually saw one of the glitches earlier, which was the game will randomly do way too much damage to you. Like way more damage than it normally does. And we saw
Where?
that with Blanca specifically. A sonic boom did like 60%. for no goddamn reason. The block's done. Oh, what? What?
There we go.
Sorry. I have to get away from the stuff that I played this game, which was like the Blanca cheese. I have to play it the way I know how to play it. But ow. Ow. Okay. What? Ow.
Let's finish his gun.
Oh my god! He slowly walked up with all of the advantage in the world.
Yeah. Man, I was worried. You know, I was so looking forward to streaming, and then I found this video on YouTube and a new channel. And it was just like a suggestion from YouTube, I guess. It was like a 3-hour video talking about Studio 4C, one, you know, my favorite studio. And it was a 3-hour video compiling like everything that they worked on. And I was maybe not even halfway through, so I didn't even get to the 2-hour mark when what am I looking for now?
The thing is that I don't have a lot of experience playing against a computer in Street Fighter 2 because these machines always
And
people, right? Like,
yeah, man, it was really good video.
A CPU and hope to play. Like you would get maybe 1 round maximum. These games were so popular. You get 1 round in Street Fighter 2 before somebody would show up and want to play.
All right, so 1, 2.
Tops. Holy shit.
There we go.
So a lot of this shit is kind of new to me. Wow.
And yeah, I was like, man, I don't want to stop watching this video. You know, when you start getting like just captivated by
You swarmy bitch.
by like a good documentary. That's exactly what happened. And
The words. It's the words. Him walking up, flash kicking you, breaking the actual mechanics of the game. I love it. It's so wonderful to see it happen and have it not be hidden. It's like, hey, we're just cheating.
And yeah, once it got to the point where they were talking about Tekken Concrete, that's when I was like, okay, that was the movie that put me onto Studio 4C. I had seen their earlier work, I just, you know, wasn't aware that it was Studio 4C. Like I did, you know, it was just a movie that I had seen that I enjoyed. And yeah, once it got to Tekken Concrete, I said, you know what, let me pause here. It's about halfway through almost. So
Get that shit
look at
out of
that,
here,
2
you
layers.
piece of shit, 1 round. Okay.
2 layers. Now we're cooking.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, these markers are worth it. Okay. I was questioning myself. Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch, you stupid ass computer. Ha! Yeah.
So yeah, so I had to pause it and just pray to put something on in the background because, you know, when I'm streaming, I want to give you guys my all. I want to give you all my attention. You know, I have a hard enough time trying to talk while I'm drawing as it is. So imagine me trying to talk while I draw, while I watch something that's got all my attention. It's like it'll never work out. So
Yoga flick, wow.
is that one?
Oh. Oh.
There we go.
Do they just block a low with a standing block? Yes, that is how the game works. Oh my god. Hopefully I know how to break out of stun.
There we go.
Whoa, what the shit? No. No. Dude, this game has tech grabs if you're the computer. It actually has tech grabs. It's sitting there and I'm like, I'm sorry, it has air tech. I'm hitting him in the air and he should be hitting the ground, but he's air teching. What the shit?
There we go. So yeah. So I just got Max Dude playing in the background. He's live right now, playing some Street Fighter 2, the game that started it all for a lot of us. And yeah, just some background noise. No worries, I'm not gonna get distracted too much. You know, another thing I've been doing while I'm not streaming and not paying the bills and all that stuff. Ever since the live action Cowboy Bebop, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I think we all know just how disappointed we all are. Like, you know, how disappointed the world is. And fair enough, right? And yeah, it's
What weird I was when I was really young. Blanca. I'm gonna fucking get you.
there we go.
Ow! Ow!
I can't tell if you're writing or not. Are you writing? Wait, are you working for me?
That's that good shit. That's that pure stun.
This could be one of those white markers that are out.
Ow. Ow. But I gotta get you.
What's going on here?
No! Ow, it's so close though, God. Look at some of that pure stun.
Okay, so you're writing, but you're not writing. What's going on? Oh, you're doing that water thing. There we go.
The good shit. So Honda can't do much about cross-ups in this one, from what I understand. I think he gets the ability to deal with it a bit more in later versions. Because he doesn't have butt slam. I don't think he has butt slam in SF2. I don't think he does. Okay, let's actually not screw this up. Let's do it the cheap way. This is great. Already been great. Already fucking this up.
There we go. Alright, now it's starting to kick in. You know, there's a little bit of wake up time for these markers. What's up, Cheska? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the hair is nice, huh? I just wanted to capture the pattern, so there's, you know, it's like kind of crisscrossing. So I really wanted to just draw the back from that, and yeah, feel free to lurk. I'm gonna be here for a while. It's gonna be one of the long streams, and yeah, by the end of the stream, hopefully I'll have finished this page. Right now, I just want to finish the hair for now, and then draw some more angles and things like that of this particular design. and really play around with the whole trench coat aesthetic, since you know I'm basically drawing Bayonetta butt naked every time I draw her. You know, yeah, I think it'd be nice to to you know, maybe not so butt naked every time. You know, throw one in there where she's like clothed and covered up,
I feel fantastic. Let's get one
like
some
some like Angelina Jolie in Meet the Smiths when she was in that trench coat, all extra hot.
Oh god.
There we go. What is this? So yeah. So welcome.
Oh my.
Oh man.
Time to win.
Man, this stuff is this marker is not working out so well. Damn, do I have I do have like a trash.
Wow. Wow. Don't try.
There we go.
Don't try to play the game. Don't be an idiot and actually try playing the game. That is
There
the
we go.
biggest mistake you can make.
Hopefully this thing will start working.
Don't actually try to play the game against the computer. The computer's not playing the same game as you. They're just not.
All right, so hopefully the hair's starting to look a little bit more detailed, you know, like a little more put together. At the end of the day, I know what it is that I'm doing and what I want to do, and I guess, you know, that a sketchbook kind of serves as that purpose, is just for the self. But you know, I don't mind putting in this little bit of extra effort to paint and illustrate this stuff for people to who like come across my sketchbook and look at it and stuff like that. For them to be able to look at it, and it's not necessarily like a work of art, you know, it's a sketchbook at the end of the day.
By block or by not? Do one of these. Holy shit, I'm stunned.
There we go.
Need more coins. Need more coins. 9.
Damn, love that Balrog theme though.
DP that actually is like effective. Ow!
Haven't played the games yet, but I know she wasn't one of the one for modesty. Not to mention, going through a sketchbook can bring back memories. I went through one and had some major. Oh yeah, I'm going through the old ones all the time, especially with, you know, with the story written. I always have to look at all the characters I made. So, you know, because I'm writing, sometimes I'm like, what the hell did I name that character? And I got to go back and find them to like remember the name, because you know 400 characters is I'm gonna forget a name or two from time to time. So yeah, I was just going through a couple of them earlier today.
Is it fun or entertaining? No.
Yeah, so the lore, without spoiling anything, I can give you the lore on Bayonetta, at least in her origins. So, you know, she's like a witch and she uses magic and all this other stuff, right? And she has hair, right? Like she has this long black hair, but then she also wears this leather dress, like skin tight cat suit looking thing. Now, what's happening there is her suit, her cat suit, is actually made up of her hair. And the witches and their power is derived from their hair. So the more hair you have, the more magical power you have to utilize. Things like that, right? More or less. So she has a bunch of hair. If you count all of her hair plus the suit, it's like, oh, okay, I see she has a bunch of hair, right? So, you know, if you see like commercials or even just a little bit of gameplay, you'll see she like summons monsters and kaijus and giant fists, and you know, like she uses her magical powers and things happen, right? Like big things. Things happen in a big way that'll break the gameplay just to show a cutscene of her like running a torture rack on an angel or something like that. All of that stuff is made from her summons, and her summons are all uh, she's able to summon them by using her hair. So what happens is her hair kind of disappears, you know? It's the energy that goes into like creating the summons or creating the magic, all that stuff. So as her hair disappears, like her hair length will shorten, and then her cat suit will start to kind of disintegrate in a way. It'll like just like unravel because it's going to creating the summon monster that she's summoning to kick, you know, the bad guy's ass. And so she'll end up half naked while like really beating up a boss or something like that. And that's basically the whole shtick to Bayonetta. That's the whole thing. That's why I like a lot of her stuff is provocative and all that other stuff. And then, you know, I'm sure they figured it out over time, and then they were just like, oh, okay, this is going to be the way that we go about doing it. That way we can have her scantily clad, but there's a reason and a purpose behind it and all this other stuff. That's how it was for Bayonetta 1. I never played the second game, and now the third game's coming out, and I'm starting to see that she doesn't get like less clothes when she's summoning the kaijus. So I'm wondering if that, you know, ever since like Nintendo picked her up from PlayStation, if that's even a part, like part of the mechanics to her powers or anything like that. Like, because it certainly wouldn't be Nintendo. I remember that being a whole thing when she got put into Smash Bros. Was like people were like, Bayonetta, like she's like, how you gonna throw like a half naked chick into a kid's game, you know? So maybe it's not a part of like her thing anymore. I'm not sure. But that's the original. That was the founding principle to her powers, at least. That's why like she has so many hair designs and so much hair iteration, and then so much clothes iteration and things like that. Is just to kind of signify how powerful she is. Yeah. A bald witch? Yeah, well, there are ones with like shorter hair, and I never really paid attention to her friend John, whatever it is. Like I don't know if like her blonde hair and red suit it plays like a similar role, you know? But yeah. I thought it was a neat idea. Like it's like, you know, I'm a guy. I like naked chicks and half naked chicks. So any way you can make it work, it's like, oh, nice, good, nice job, guys. You know, that's why I really like this this trench coat design that there is for her, just because it's kind of really reminiscent of like a European like a European escort or something like that, when they're walking around the streets in a trench coat, and then they just have like lacy whatchamacallit, like lace underwear on underneath. I mean, it's basically Bayonetta in a nutshell.
Alright, more TODs on this guy.
There we go.
Oh, we win, motherfucker. Oh, there we go. Damn. When Vega gets it hard. You can sweep them into like OTG Fireball. Very weird. Very weird. Well, this was the game that invented combos, right? Not invented. It was combos. Oh God. What am I looking at?
Kick-ass music and monsters. Oh, for sure. The monsters are badass. Like, that's the other thing. Like the game is so good. It goes just beyond like her being some like a sex symbol or something.
So combos were a byproduct of just the way the characters worked in this game, right? The way they processed frames. So
Like, I'm sure all that stuff is just for fun, you know, just to get the guys like me, just to get the creeps. But like the fun of it is probably, you know, like a lot of girls love Bayonetta too. I imagine it's just like her whole character is like powerful, owning it, you know, sort of thing.
Goddamn, Scott got slugged. Rest in peace, Bob Saget. He got a fourth star. He's like, oh shit, I got one more scar from this first round, another from the second round, and then the mental scars after. Well, shit, that was easy.
Go.
Bison with his red, angry eyes. He's so weird looking in this one. So sick. Wow. Yo, is that Rob Julia?
Tifa. I was open to her having a smaller chest, but I'm glad they kept it. I agree. I love that they kept it. Yeah.
Oh, this shit is over! Goddamn! Maybe I've just fought old school Bison too much. Maybe that's the fight I'm more familiar with than anything.
I mean, they already threw Cloud in a Cloud in a dress and everything like that. They got away with it. You know, they did it right.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
So, I mean, I could only imagine with Final Fantasy VII being in
This is beautiful. This is exactly how I remember Street Fighter.
on PC now, all the modders. I mean, they're probably already out there. I could probably just look it up on YouTube, but all the modders are probably out there just modding Tifa, modding Cloud. You know, I already saw one where they had them playing in the dress just from Jump Street, so you could just play the whole game with Cloud in a dress.
Perfect music. There you go, chat. This was definitely the first game that had a profound impact on me was Street Fighter 2, and obviously the rest of the world. Fighting games are not the same after this. Everything copied Street Fighter 2, including Mortal Kombat, and then everything copied Mortal Kombat after Mortal Kombat. But funny enough, Mortal Kombat never copied Street Fighter 2. Weird,
Let's see, are we
mix mash
crooked? Can I turn this and we could be
I didn't want to do
a little more straight?
Super Street Fighter 2, even though that's the Genesis version, and that's the one I learned how to throw fireballs. That's the one where I eventually learned how to do like proper special moves instead of flash kicks and and flash kicks and sonic booms, that was the one that I figured that shit out. So, but I don't.
You know what?
They already put the Genesis version out that long ago. I was not very interested in jumping back to that shit. All right. So this was 1991. Where the hell do we go from here, chat? Oh my God, this was 1991. So, I don't know, ST, the thing is, I like Super Turbo, but I don't think it was a fighting game that made me, right? I personally don't feel that that game was hugely influential on my,
But yeah,
young
I'm sure there's games out there that already have dudes and thongs, man. I look at some of these character designs in like the Xeno games, Xenosaga and all that other stuff.
Where is
And it's like, I mean, at this point, anybody's just doing anything.
around like 1995. I don't think Mortal Kombat 1 or 2, in all perfect honesty, I don't think Mortal Kombat
I mean,
1 or
it's
2
whatever at this point,
are
right?
hugely influential games to me.
It's
I
like
always
whatever
thought they were
floats your boat.
cool, but I never really got into them. I feel like I liked the Mortal Kombat movie more than the games. However, no, I think there's another game. Let me actually look up the date of this. Yeah, I think I know what we're going to be playing. Yeah, 1994. 1994. This is definitely a game that made me. 100% this is a game that made me. Hold on a sec, chat. We got to flip it and then dip it. And then I got to lock it in the top. Robert Fuller. No. 1994, what could it be? What could it be in 1994? What was so influential that came out that year that blew my nose and sucked my ass? Maybe not in no specific order. That's kind of disgusting, Dad. So why you would say such a thing? Ah, yes. It's going to remain a mystery until the very end. And keep it mysterious. This was 100% a game that made. Even though not good at it, right? Mind you, I might actually need some recommendations from the chat. Because oh man, was I not actually any good at this? Was I not good at this game?
Oh man, what was I talking about before? I had started talking about the Cowboy Bebop anime, right?
Quick run through of Street Fighter 2010. Learn all about Ken.
So yeah, just getting back to that real quick.
Turn this on.
So the live action Cowboy Bebop happened, and as of this stream, they've canceled the second season. I'm for it. I'm for the canceling. I try to be a positive guy and all that stuff, but like, if they're,
all right, I'm gonna leave it a surprise until I get it all completely fired up, chat. You're gonna have to.
I voiced my displeasure with the live action. Like I liked it, but then I didn't. I think the biggest crime was how they treated Vicious. Oh, because I was talking about what I've been doing when I'm off stream, like what I've been watching lately, and kind of what's been going on in my head and stuff lately.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
So something that's been happening, like in the dome, is I've been imagining Cowboy Bebop as a live action. Like, how would I do it? Because that's my big thing. Like, if you're gonna poo-poo something, like, then talk your shit and back it up. Because if you can't write a better story, then you don't really belong talking shit about it, That's just my personal thing, like a talk about it, be about it kind of guy, And
Jesus,
man. Oh, is this a virtual fighter? anyways.
So we got the Saturn fired up.
So for like weeks now, I've been just writing it in my head and looking it over, and I started rewatching the series again for like the 1000th time because I want to see like now I'm watching it from the angle of like what episodes, what are the order of the episodes, what's happening in them, and how much of the story are we getting at any point. And I've like kind of aimed to break the anime down into like a 3-season arc sort of thing, just because 3 is a good number, like a trilogy type thing. What did they do to Vicious, and why wasn't Ed in the movie? So the thing that they did to Vicious that was so uncalled for, they nerfed him essentially. They made him a punk. They didn't make him vicious. They did not allow him to live up to his namesake. If you've watched the anime, you know Vicious is named Vicious for a reason. Like, we don't have to know the specific reason why he's named Vicious, but his character is the embodiment of viciousness. And after watching the anime and that being like one of my major gripes with it, I was like, let me rewatch the anime and let me see if it's just all in my head that Vicious is this monster and maybe he's like a regular human being. Let me see if there's any punk in him, like how they put it in the live action. And no, man, I've been rewatching the anime. Vicious he's as great as ever. If anything, because I actually watched the anime with all this stuff in mind. Whenever he was on screen, whenever he was on my TV, I was really like focusing, and it was very interesting. I always imagined him as a character who didn't really have much dialogue and didn't really have much to say. Like, I know the back and forths that he's had with Spike, and those are like what I think about when I think of his dialogue. That's the stuff that I remember. What I don't really remember, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Is when he's conversating with the Red Dragon, with the syndicate that he's a part of, when he's communicating with them and how they go about talking to each other and things like that. And I was like, oh my god, I never realized Vicious actually had some dialogue. I'm not gonna say he talked a lot, but he talked more than I remember, and more than I would have guessed, before recent. And I was like, he's putting together sentences. Sentences? Whatever. He's, but he has like a whole, he has a dialogue with the Red Dragon leaders and things like that. And he's going back and he's talking about like, oh, this reason, that reason. And I was like, okay, so he's not a complete monster. He's a human being who's capable of carrying a conversation. He shows respect to the leaders and things like that. And it's like, okay. And now I'm like really paying attention to his character. And yeah, in the live action, they just made him a punk. They made him look like he's scared. They made him... The best way that I've been able to put it is, if Spike Spiegel is Bugs Bunny, they made Vicious Daffy Duck. And we all know that Bugs Bunny beats Daffy Duck in every cartoon. I think there was one episode where Daffy Duck actually won in all of Looney Tunes. But for the most part, Bugs Bunny always punks Daffy Duck. He always just makes him look like a fool every single time. And that's what they did with Vicious. They just had him look like a punk everywhere he went, no matter who he dealt with. Do I have a dark purple? Yes, I do. Perfect. So, yeah, man, it was real criminal what they did with. This is a glow, sparkly one. I don't want to use a sparkly one.
actually good at this game. I actually do not know how to play this.
There we go. So we got
Shit up right now.
dark blue and a purple. Well, try these out. Either way, like I just really hate what they did with Vicious. They just made him the butt of every single joke in every episode, in every instance that he's in, and he's in it a lot more than he is in the anime. Not that that's a problem, but if you're gonna put him in a lot, like make him who he was in the anime. Just, you know, well, yeah, just make him who he was. Don't make him the laughing stock. Don't make him the butt of the joke, and don't make him this goofy character who's like can't handle himself. And then, you know, they gave him an episode where he actually kind of like outsmarted some people, but it didn't. It came out of nowhere. Like the writers didn't really like he didn't deserve it. Like he didn't do anything to lead us to believe that he was actually capable of, you know, not being the joke at one point. It's like you've been the joke everywhere you go, and people have clowned you everywhere you go. And now in this one instance, you're just like bulletproof. Like nah, son. Like that shouldn't have happened. Even though it would have happened, because he's vicious. Like at least the way he was being written in that show, that wasn't him. It was out of character. They just wrote for the wrong character.
Okay, well, it's doing something, but you know, not what I want.
Sitting in mob. Oh yeah, yeah. So
It's doing more. It's got good reach too.
so he comes in. And here's the thing, in the live action, because, you know, I'm watching the open sequence and I'm seeing the cheese but I'm enjoying it still. I'm like, okay, I see the call outs that they're doing. I see that they're remaking the Knocking on Heaven's Door movie. The beginning of that movie for the opening scene in the live action. I was like, okay, like I see what they're doing, so I'm enjoying the show, you know. It's a little cheesy, but I like it. It's whatever. You can make Cowboy Bebop cheesy and still do justice by it. And then when they introduce Vicious, like in the live action, literally for like the first second or two, like they have his underlings walking up to him, and you see a shot from him coming from behind, and he's putting on his jacket or something like that, you know? And as he's putting on his jacket, he's talking to himself, and he's saying the line that he says in the anime, which got me like really hyped, because I was like, oh, okay, tight. They got him saying the shit that I like him saying, where he goes, and they will shed tears of scarlet or something like that. He has a line like that, and that's how they introduce him, is by saying that. So I was like, oh shit, we're here. Vicious is here. And then that was like the only thing that they did that was anything close to Vicious. And then as soon as that line was said, he was Daffy Duck. And I was like, well, so why'd you even give him that line? Like, why would anybody shed tears of scarlet when you're just a clown, you know? It's weird. But yeah, in the anime, he's ruthless. He's ruthless. And they made, you know, they didn't do Mao's character justice. Who was the guy whose throat he slit? Oh man, I have to drink some water. He's more like one of the goofier one episode villains, sounds like. Yeah. Except he's in every episode. It's terrible. Oh, okay. are we at? Where are we? Got that? Yes. So.
Block and jump up new flash kick.
Go.
There we go! Alright. Knock the hair beret out of her hair. This game, here's the thing about Virtua Fighter 2 that I still love.
He is my Virtua Fighter.
Still looks amazing, right? I'm running this on an actual
So.
Saturn. It still looks friggin' ridiculous.
So yeah, they.
Oh, this is the part that I hate.
But yeah, there's a part in the anime. In the not in Ballad of Fallen Angels where we first see him and Spike interact in the church, but in the halfway point of the show, episodes 11 and 12 or 12 and 13, whichever ones it is, where what's it called? Ballad of Fallen? No. Jupiter Jazz? I think it's Jupiter Jazz. I could know. Either way. The one where Spike and Vicious face off against each other the second time. In the 2-part episode. He has a scene with the leaders of the Red Dragon, and they're questioning him. Hey, who's this guy you have a meeting with? Why would you meet with him? What's his angle? Who is he? Why is he choosing you to work with? Like all this stuff that's like definitely something that a mob boss would be asking one of his underlings. And he's answering the questions. And I was like, holy shit. That's when I was like, he's talking a lot. He's talking a lot more than I remember Vicious being a talking character, you know? And even that alone just told me like, oh man, yeah, you forget that he's not like the leader of the Red Dragon, he's an underling. And that like goes to show you that he is an underling, which made him like backstabbing Mao in the earlier episode more like holy shit. And
wait for it. Get screwed.
Yeah, anyway, I was rewatching the anime and just like looking at it and looking at the bits of Spike's past and in what episodes are we getting those bits, and trying to remember what my headcanon of Spike's past is with Vicious, because they never really go into detail about it, so it's kind of like everyone has their own interpretation.
I think right bumper is punch kick guard. It is.
And I'm like thinking about the live action and what they did with it, and I'm rewatching it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think they're right about that. There's this and that they're wrong about. Another thing that they did really bad was Julia. Spike and Vicious love interest, girlfriend, love triangle situation thing that goes on. But that's a whole different topic. Like Julia is almost non-existent in the anime, and they made her like a focal point in the live action, and not in a good way. Yeah, so they messed that up, and then even Jupiter Jazz, like since you know and you remember, the army guy, the transgender guy who like got experimented on and became like a guy and a girl, and whatever, hermaphrodite or something like that, whatever it is. They have that guy in the live action, but he's nothing. He has nothing to do with his anime counterpart. So that felt kind of cheap. Like when I heard the name in the live action, they called this character Grin. I was like, wait, what? I was like, that's Grin? I was like, okay, where are they going with this? And they went nowhere with it. And I was just like, oh, this isn't good. I was like, that's gonna be a problem. you know, because that's one of the best parts about Grin's character is that he sheds a little bit more light onto Vicious' character. And Vicious is, you know, like, he's like Bigfoot. He's the most elusive character in Cowboy Bebop. So for Grin's existence is, you know, highlights Vicious a little bit more, just ups his character's value, you know? We like Grin. You know, I was a kid. I was in middle school when Cowboy Bebop came out, and I used to like sneak out of bed to go to the other side of the house and watch the episodes and stuff, and watch Toonami and all that. Like, I was a kid when I first watched that. The idea of Grin being a guy and a girl at the same time like made me uncomfortable when I was a kid. And you know, we're talking 20 years ago, and we're talking about more than 20 years ago now. Shit, damn, I'm old. Anyways, and yeah, he's but I always appreciated his character because of his role that he played in teaching us more about Vicious. You know, I just loved Vicious that much that I was just like, hey, any way that I can get more Vicious and learn about him and stuff like that. And then how they were like on War on Titan just opens up the lore of the Cowboy Bebop universe of like, oh yeah, there's war there. Vicious was an ex-military soldier. He would have been gone away from the mob and while he was from his in the army or whatever it was. Like, was he in the army as a mob agent? You know, things like that. Like, it opens up a lot of questions and things like that. A lot that can be explored, but none that got explored at all. And that's something that I always think about is like that War on Titan. And, you know, what the hell were they doing? Because they show you the flashbacks of it in the anime. And it's like a barren desert. The wind is blowing. You know, it's a blue desert at that. It's not even like a sunny, sandy desert. It's all gray and blue and dark, and it just looks real shitty and miserable. And it's just like, yo, what were they fighting for there? That's crazy. And it's like, yeah, I could see why Vicious became like a monster. You serve time in that place. Fucking scorpions and shit? Come on, man. And then, yeah, to answer your other question about Ed and why wasn't Ed there, Ed showed up. Ed was in the live action on Netflix. She showed up at the last second. Like, you know how Marvel has all of these. What do I gotta work on next? There we go. Yeah, we can see all the ribbons in there, I hope. Yeah, so let's where are we at? 103. Let me jot that down.